Canopy Growth agreed to acquire MTL Cannabis today. Canopy will expand its medical cannabis capacity and global market reach with the acquisition of the Montreal-based cannabis company. Canopy expects the deal to close in March and elevate the company to the leading position in Canada's medical cannabis market. Here to talk about that is Luc Mongeau, CEO of Canopy Growth. Luc, thank you very much for joining us.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Why go after MTL?
Listen, for us, this transaction checks so many boxes. I've been at the head of Canopy for now close to a year. And with the team, we've been really focusing on building the fundamentals of what can become a global leader in cannabis, both medical and recreational. So the addition of MTL really accelerates our journey to being positive, adjusted EBITDA, generating cash flow, and providing consumers and medical patients in Canada, across Europe, with the best flower available out there.
Now, with it, you mentioned about your negative EBITDA cash flow and cash flow. What will this change for those? You were still single-digit millions, I believe, for adjusted EBITDA loss last time?
Yes. Absolutely. This transaction is highly accretive. MTL is part of a select group of Canadian LPs that have achieved positive EBITDA, that are generating positive cash flow. So when you combine that with all the efforts that we've put into place over the last year to really control our costs, solidify, beef up our balance sheet, all the efforts that have been put into place to allow that we're now growing our Canadian rec business at around 20% year over year. We're growing our Canadian medical business at double digit. All these things will really accelerate our journey to positive EBITDA and positive cash flow generation.
And how do you plan to underwrite? It's a $179 million valuation, and MTL had $84 million in trailing 12 months and 51% gross margin. How are you going to underwrite that?
Well, the focus is really, we focus on the strategic side of things. And so their margins, they're able to generate margins that are significantly better than ours. Ours are improving. Canopy's are improving right now. So the combination of access to very lean operation, to superior growing capabilities, will allow us to improve our margins, and we'll feel these impact all the way down to the bottom line.
And did you consider trying to do this organically, or is this do you feel this was the better move?
This is really the better move. We've been, not that we're not going at it organically, we've been really unleashing the power of Canopy, as I said, for the last 12 months. And that's why we've been able to return Canopy to growth, as I said earlier, recreational growing at 20%, medical business growing at around 17% right now. This will just accelerate how we position Canopy as a serious global player.
And with the global market, what kind of obviously the big thing would have been the news out of the U.S., the possibility of changing the category for cannabis. Are you prepared for that? Are you ready for that if that does happen?
Yeah, absolutely. And, to really take advantage of a potential strong market, Canopy needs to be very strong in Canada and in Europe in a way that we can really build a capability to invest in the U.S. market. So in the U.S. right now, we've got our investment in QSA. We're working very closely with the team there and providing them the help, the guidance, the support that they need. And we've got our investment in TerraSense. So we're extremely well position to take advantage of changes in the U.S. But as I said, we need to be extremely strong in Canada, in Europe, and Australia to build a capability to invest in the U.S. once the market opens up.
And how's the situation in Europe and in Australia?
Yes. Well, these markets continue to do extremely well. They're growing, especially in Germany, growing extremely quickly. This acquisition of MTL will really give us access to superior quality flower that we can take to the European market to really unleash the power of Canopy abroad.
And do you intend to keep MTL as more of a boutique? How do you plan to merge these two? I believe you said you hope to save $10 million over the next 18 months. How do you plan to merge them but keep it unique?
Yeah, we're building one company here. So this is going to be a complete merger, two companies coming together. What we're really going to focus on and really make sure we harness is the superior capabilities of MTL of growing high quality flower, higher levels of THC at very efficient costs. And that's why their CEO, Mike Perron, very talented individual, will lead our operations, will be our chief operating officer globally, really leading our operations. That's why for us it was extremely important that the two founders of MTL be involved in the new to be formed organization. They will be quite involved in our cultivation and manufacturing operations activities to really make sure we keep the best of MTL and actually marry the best of both organizations.
How do you plan to scale up MTL? You said that talked about the quality. Sometimes it's hard, though, to bring quality up on a larger scale. How are you going to balance those two?
Yeah, listen, it's not my first rodeo. I've been through multiple integration over the years. We're putting in place very rigorous PMO approach to make sure we phase out the integration. This is like, we've been talking to Rich and Mitch for a long period of time. They have visited our facilities. They know what they're signing up to. Growing great cannabis is a bit of a science and art. So we're going to take this slowly, gradually, to make sure that we don't trip, but we have a high level of confidence that we can elevate the quality of the flower across the entire network.
And just one last question: any concerns about regulatory on this approval or the MTL shareholders?
We've checked everything that we can. We foresee smooth sailing ahead of us.
Okay, Luc, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. You have a great day.
You too. Luc Mongeau is CEO of Canopy Growth.